What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to bring you a combo and coaching video for 3.5 Axis Fire Fist for the 2014 WCQ H.A.T format. I had a lot of people ask about this deck after checking out the deck profile, and they wanted to see some combos and kind of get into the mind of how to play this deck properly, so that's what this video is going to be. If you haven't checked out my 3.5 Axis Fire Fist deck profile, I highly suggest checking that out. If I remember, I will have that linked in the video description, so if you haven't checked that out, take a second, pause this video, go check that out. Or if I do happen to forget, just go on my channel and I have a playlist of all my different H.A.T format deck profiles. So just scroll down, find the 3.5 Axis Fire Fist one, check it out, and then come back to this video. But if you've already checked that out, I do appreciate you returning and, checking this video out as well. So let's start talking about this deck. So obviously 3.5 Axis Fire Fist is a build that plays your level 3 engine of Fire Fist as well as a level 4 engine of the deck. So let's talk about that a little. In your opening hand, if you see more of the level 4 aspect, that usually means you're going to play the more grindy control game until you find your combo pieces. And the combo pieces are your level 3 aspect of the deck, which I'll show you some different combinations that get you into your full combo, but let's first break down what sections these are. So starting off with the 4s, obviously we're playing copies of Bear that, if you're checking this out, hopefully you know these, but in general, if it inflicts damage, it lets you set a Fire Formation spell, and you get rid of a Fire Formation spell or trap, you can pop a monster. Gorilla pops back row by getting rid of a Fire Formation spell or trap, and when it destroys a monster by battle, you can set a Fire Formation spell or trap, so similar to the Bear, except it has to kill a monster. And then we also have Boar, which is just a floater, but it can also just count as a 4 because it is a level 4. So that is it for your main ones. And then for the 3s, we obviously have Spirit, which is just your tuner and one of your main combo pieces. Leopard, which is a level 3 and is also one of your main combo pieces. This can technically get you into your tankies and things, so in a sense it could also count as your 4 engine, but usually you're using it for your 3 plays. And then you also have Rooster that cycles your Fire Formation spell and traps, and it's also a 3 and is also very important for your main combo lines. Now, on top of just having, your 3s and your 4s, you have cards that double as both. So, for example, Tenki obviously can get you into either of your 3s or 4s. You have Instant Fusion that in my deck profile I was playing a level 3 and a level 4 option. And even going second, you have Onslaught, which is basically E-Telly for your Fire Fist monsters. So all of these can count as either line, so if you want to play the more control game, say you're going against a deck like Geargia or H.A.T, for example, that plays a slower game and you're going to be trying to grind through more, you might want to go for your 4 side of the deck. But if you have the chance to go off, for example, if you start the game and you want to just get a board developed, then going for the 3 line is good, or against some of the more combo decks that you can get away with it. Definitely really, really good. So that is the main thing you want to be looking for, is which of those sides of the deck you opened. Now, in terms of your combo lines, as I mentioned, your 3s are going to be the main thing that let you combo off. So let's talk about some of these combos. So in general, your most basic combo back in the day would consist of Spirit and Leopard. You could also open Tenki because Tenki counts as either one. So in this case, for example, you just add whatever piece is going to be missing for this. So if you open this, it gets you into the same combo, or if you open this, it also gets you into the same combo. And just because this is the original combo, it actually isn't the best combo, but I'm going to walk you through this just so you can get an idea of what the old combo used to be. Now, obviously, again, if you start with Tenki, you just add the missing piece, so there's technically one extra step, but let's go over what this combo is. So you're going to start by normal summoning a copy of your Leopard. From here, you activate Leopard, tributing itself to get a copy of Fire Formation Tensu. It sets it, so you just activate it. From there, you'll summon your copy of Spirit, because Tensu gives you an additional normal summon. Spirit's effect will target the Leopard and special summon it. From here, you have a tuner and a non-tuner, so you will synchro for a 6, and the monster you're going to go for is Horse Prince. Now, keep in mind, if you're going first, Horse Prince is good to summon in defense position because it has the same attack and defense. If you're going second and you're trying to push for damage or get over bodies, obviously put it in attack. But here you'll special summon a copy of the Horse Prince, and Horse Prince has the effect that when it's synchro summoned, you can special summon a level 3 fire monster from your deck, but then you can't summon other monsters that are 5 or higher for the rest of the turn. So you're going to use that effect and summon a copy of your Rooster. Rooster, when it's special summoned by the effect of a Fire Fist monster, you're going to be able to add a Fire Fist monster from deck to hand. So here you have a couple options. Obviously, you can add more copies of Leopard as follow-up. You could add any of your 4s, depending on if you know what your opponent's playing against, or just in general, the safest route a lot of times can be just Bear, because Bear on its own is just a very solid card. It doesn't really matter. So here, let's just say we grabbed a copy of Bear. So this is in hand. Next, we can use the effect of Rooster to get rid of our Tensu and set a Fire Formation spell or trap. So here, our only targets we have are going to be Tenki, which in this exact example, we didn't use a copy of Tenki, but if you opened Tenki and you didn't open both of these exactly, so say you had to Tenki for your Leopard or Tenki for your Spirit, then you won't be able to activate the Tenki this turn, but in this exact example, we didn't use Tenki, so when it's set, we could then activate and add an additional Fire Fist monster. So here, again, we could add another copy of Leopard. We could add any of your other 4s, so Gorilla or Boar. You could add a Rooster, though Rooster really isn't the best option to add here. And then, so you're going to have, 2 monsters in hand. Let's just say we added Gorilla here because I had it sitting here. So you now have these 2 cards in hand as well as that being your board. So not too bad off of just 2 cards. You replaced your 2 cards along with having some board presence. The other thing is, say you were going second in this matchup, or you just wanted some protection, say you started with Tenki, you could also go for Goyoku, doing this, so you'd have 1 less monster in hand because of the Tenki, or in general, if, you already had that Tenki, as I mentioned, you won't be able to have the additional search, so in that case, you'd have Goyoku and just 1 of your Fire Fist monsters, but in general, that was what the basic combo used to be. So now, the combos actually got so much better because of the inclusion of Instant Fusion. So let me just organize this a little bit more here. And so now, Instant Fusion plus Tenki is a little bit better than that. Well, I shouldn't say a little bit. It's noticeably better than opening just your old combo of Leopard and Spirit. Now, this is also somewhat interchangeable with whatever Fire Fist monsters you opened and such, but let's talk about this combo. So with this combo, what you're going to do is go for Tenki, and here you're going to add your Spirit, specifically Spirit you need here. Next, you will activate Instant Fusion and summon your level 3 Cherubin. From there, you are going to normal summon your Spirit, no effect obviously because you have none in grave. Synchro summon with these for a copy of your Horse Prince. Horse Prince effect will special summon your Rooster. So far, the same thing. Rooster's effect will add. So here, what you're going to do is specifically add another Rooster. This might seem weird because you only get the add when it's special summoned, but in general, add the Rooster. It'll make sense in a minute. And if you notice, it does say when this card's special summoned by the effect of a Fire Fist monster, you can add one Fire Fist monster from your deck to your hand. And you can only use that effect once per turn, and it can add itself. I know a lot of cards usually say it can't add itself. Rooster, you can. So now you're going to use the effect of Rooster to send the Tenki, and here you are going to set a copy of Tensu, which obviously you're then going to activate. And here you're going to use your additional summon to summon the Rooster. Now, Rooster's first effect, when it's special summoned by the effect of a Fire Fist monster, is once per turn. The cycling through Fire Formation cards is not. So we're going to use the effect again, sending the Tensu to then go and get a additional copy of either Tenki we can set or Goyoku. Those are usually your best options here. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, we've already used a copy of Tenki in this combo, so this would be follow-up for your next turn. Or if you're going second, as I mentioned before, Goyoku's a good card that you can use to just ice a back row if your opponent hasn't already tried to interrupt you. So for the sake of this, let's just say we set a copy of Tenki. And then from here, we can overlay these into a copy of our Lion Emperor. And then we can use Lion Emperor's effect, detach a material, and now we can go and add back a copy of Spirit from Grave. So here is now the new end board. So as before, where you would just end on a Horse Prince and say a Tenki and a monster in hand, now you're ending on a Horse Prince, a Lion Emperor, your Tenki plus Spirit, which is a better follow-up in most cases than your fours because you're able to kind of do a bit of your Horse Prince play again next turn. Obviously, we went through the 2 copies of Rooster we play, but the Horse Prince does not limit you to only going for Rooster. You can definitely go for things like Leopard or something to get other fire formations. So that is now your main combo off of just 2 cards. Again, you have your Tenki set, so it's a pretty cool combo in general. Now, in terms of combinations of cards for other combos, so obviously, as I showed you, the basic combo is Leopard and Spirit, which, again, Tenki can replace any of those. The other combo that I just showed off is with a copy of Instant Fusion and Tenki. So this is always going to be your best possible combination. Leopard is also a good card if you don't have your Tenki for this combo. And when going second, this combo gets even crazier simply because it's going to be basically the same combo, but you have something like Onslaught, for example, which Onslaught, if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon a Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast from deck. So that means opening this, you can do your full combo that I just showed off without having to use your regular normal summon. So, for example, if at the end of all your combo and stuff, you do end up going for something like a bear or something off of your ad, then, you have that possibility. So I'll walk you through this one real quick, just because obviously there's no Fire Formation card right here. So you're going to want to go and get that throughout this combo. So we're going to start off with our Onslaught. Special summon that Spirit, and then you will Instant Fusion, summon your Cherubin, Synchro for a 6. So here we will go for Horse Prince. Horse Prince effect, go for Rooster. Rooster effect. Here we want to go for probably, I would say, Leopard. So we'll add the Leopard, which we haven't normal summoned yet, so we can just normal summon it. And from here you have a couple options. So we've already used our one normal summon, so what you can do is basically you can use this effect and get a Tenki or Tensu, but what you could also do is just overlay these and go straight into your Lion Emperor, and then Lion Emperor effect, detach, and add back your Spirit. So you have no Fire Formation spells on the field, but you have basically the same end board of Spirit plus these, which in a way might not seem as good, but again, going back with depending on what the rest of your hand is, if you already had another Fire Fist monster in hand, you could have tributed that leopard and got a Tensu and then summoned and then kept going from there. But the other thing to keep in mind is you don't have a Tenki, a Tensu, or anything else face up. So why that's important is if your opponent is playing something like Ragnazero that is basically the bane of this deck's existence because it's always going to have a target to blow up your monster and they'll get a draw, then this is just a very simple combo that gets you to the same end board without playing into Ragnazero. And again, this is going second, so realistically you should put this in attack, and then you're able to just attack in for some damage. You have follow-up, plus you have the rest of your cards in hand. Now, one other thing to note with these type of combos is how I mentioned that the original combo of these two isn't quite as strong as, say, your Instant Fusion plus Onslaught or your Tenki plus Instant Fusion. You can technically get to the same board in a different way if, say, you open this going first along with a copy of Circle of the Fire Kings. So I'll just quickly run through this one to give you guys an example. So, you leopard, send leopard, get a copy of Tensu, then Tensu, summon spirit, special back the leopard, synchro, summon your horse prince, summon your rooster. Rooster will add you a Fire Fist monster, so let's just say, again, we're adding bear for this example. Then from here, we would use the rooster, cycle the Tenki, or the Tensu for a Tenki. So again, this is set, and we have not activated it, so we could activate it here, add anything else you really want here. So we could add, a gorilla, a boar, another copy of rooster. It doesn't really matter for this exact thing. Obviously, we already used Tensu, so we're not going to be able to use whatever it is this turn anyways. So again, we'll just say gorilla. So we have this as our hand and this as our board. And don't forget, we also still have the circle for this example. So here, what you're now able to do is activate circle. So this targets a fire monster you control and one in your graveyard, and destroy the first target and special the second one. So here we're going to get rid of our horse prince. Again, this would be going first, just if you want to get into some of your other plays. And from here, you would summon back your leopard, and then you would overlay these into your Lion Emperor. And from here, you would detach. It doesn't really matter which material you detach here, and add back your spirit. So now you have 3 cards in hand, plus you still have your Lion Emperor, which is a bit beefy of a monster, along with a Tenki, and that was off of, your 2-card starter combo that usually doesn't end the strongest, but it is a cool way, and Circle in general also helps you play through some of the things like DD Crow or Breakthrough Skill, being able to quick play activate this and get things off of board. So it is pretty cool. So even if your opponent tries to Breakthrough Skill your Horse Prince play, you can just right away activate Circle and dodge it and still end on this type of field. But that is it for the basic combos of this deck and the things to be familiar with. Obviously, the deck plays different in a grind game situation, just trying to go 1-for-1 with the opponent and get into your Tenkis and different plays of sorts. If you open Tensu plus like some of your 4s and stuff, you're able to go for some of your Xyz, for example. That's a good time to go for your Tiger King, which will set you something like a Tenki or anything else you need for that matter, and then you're able to slowly start picking up the pieces of your level 3 aspect of the deck so you can really start comboing in and things. It really just depends on your opening hand, for example, and you do play a lot of protection in this deck because, like, if you guys saw the profile, you're playing all your different trap cards, you're playing MSTs, lances, you do have soul charge if your opponent really breaks your board, you have hand traps, just a variety of good cards in general. So you just gotta shuffle it up, play with it a little bit, and see what you end on. But hopefully these combos and things could help you. If you have any other questions, definitely drop them in the comment section or videos you want to see in the future. Also, I do appreciate if you drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel because at the time of recording this, we have not hit 10,000 subscribers yet, but we are getting very close, and share this video with your friends. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.